Here we go.
You should be watching.
Alright, let's get it. So, a brand new Krillin figure. I didn't even think that they was going to do this figure, to be honest. I'm keeping it 100 with you. I didn't even think they was going to do this figure. But since they did this figure, stay tuned to the end, the end part of the video after I finish talking about this figure as well as Super Kami Guru, or whatever they call him, and whatever the proper name they gave him, right? This figure, I will say, does look good. It does look like the show, But there's just one problem, and you probably see it on the screen already. Matter of fact, a lot of y'all probably were waiting for me to talk about this, because $80 for Krillin. At this point, should we really be surprised? No. Once Goku Mini was $70, and then we have King Goma at $70, Krillin, it's not too surprising, right? Because Krillin will be a little bit bigger than those, but not $10 more bigger. And to be honest, like, once again, they were already very expensive to begin with. So let's just see. Pre-orders are already open if you're interested in this. Specifications. Okay, give you the height and everything, 4.3 inches. So definitely a small figure, but Krillin is a short man. So what are you going to do about that? Where are the accessories at? I always can never. I'm not telling you what he come with? Am I wildin'? Oh, right here. I'm dumb. Main body, interchangeable hand, left and right hand times 5 types, interchangeable head parts times 4 types, scatter energy wave effect part set, and that's it. So once again, I'm gonna go through the pictures just very quickly, but this is clearly completely overpriced. Now, one thing I will say, according to my last video, some of y'all commented in the comment section and said, "Yo, Bomb, like, over here where I live, the figure is actually much cheaper." So definitely, even with the reduced tariffs definitely have something to do with this here. I ain't gonna lie, that shit look kind of crazy at the wrong angle. Yo, that look kind of crazy, but either way, I think the figure itself, once again, looks good. It's sporting the new articulation technology, or I would say engineering rather, with the single jointed knee, which has the movement of a double jointed knee. Some people will say, nah, it doesn't, because they're just so used to having a double jointed knee, but Revoltech has shown us that you don't need that. But either way, I digress. That's a completely different thing. One thing I want to talk about is the price once more. I'm gonna continue on with the price, right? So somebody, I'm not gonna. I seen a comment. I'll just say that I seen a comment, and when I was talking about Shallot and Giblet, I was talking about the prices. Some people defended the prices. Some people was like, yeah, they definitely overpriced. But one comment in particular, they wrote in all caps, "It's a collab. What do you expect?" So we write, you write all caps. I'm assuming that you yelling, but you typing it. But you get that take aged about as well as a banana and a New York City subway in the summertime. Because this is not a collab, and look how expensive this is. So what are we talking about? Yo, people be chatting. Like, if you don't, like, sometimes I'll be wanting to be rude, but I understand that, everybody they're entitled to their own opinion. So I don't be rude, but I be having some words I be wanting to say to people. But I try, once again, I try to keep it cordial. But yeah, this is definitely overpriced. I like the way the figure looks, no doubt about it. But $80? Nah. Wildin'. Now let's move on to Guru.
No.
So, Guru, or SAICHORO, however you pronounce it. I never really heard it called that. Usually Super Kami Guru or Guru. Y'all get the picture. $310. Absolutely not worth it. In fact, I think this is the most pointless release in the Dragon Ball figure line, period. Because for all intended purposes, this is just a statue. And to be fair, that is what it's supposed to be. Guru is not no flying around doing kicks type of character, throwing kicks and punches. He literally sits there in the chair and doesn't move the whole time he's on screen. For all this, you might as well just buy a statue. Now, maybe you could say, you know, a statue finish is not going to be the same as the rest of the figures, so it's going to look out of place if you take photos and things of that nature. And even if you don't take photos, it'll look out of place with your display. Man, y'all see the price point. $310 for this. Now the pre-orders are open, and once again, you can spend your money how you want. Ultimately, right? At the end of the day, spend your money how you want. I can't. If you're a big baller like that, you could get it. But this is crazy right here. Look at that. He can move his arm. I don't even know if his arm has any joints besides a swivel to move it up and down and maybe out to the side. You know? It doesn't. I can't really see. It doesn't. I'm tempted to say no, it doesn't. But either way, or maybe I don't know, because it kind of looked like it might have a little something right there, but I'm gonna say no. But the main point is, this is definitely overpriced. Main body, interchangeable hand, left and right hand. Damn, just the left and the right hand. But then again, he doesn't do a whole lot, so it makes sense. Interchangeable head parts times 3 types, chair, Dragon Ball. Now, once again, I'm gonna, since in the last video y'all was saying that, some of y'all was saying that live outside the US that the figure was cheaper. Let me know, guys, how much does this cost, as well as Krillin, and where y'all live, if you're outside of the US. Now, if you're in the US, of course, we all looking at the same price. But if y'all outside the US, let me know how much this costs for y'all, because this is crazy. But at the end of the day, like I said, big baller, you can spend your money how you want ultimately. I think some of this, I saw a thread, I briefly saw a thread on Reddit. It was like, yo, anybody else think it's about time that they about to stop collecting? You know? And this sucks. I think who this sucks the most for is the completionists, because this is like, damn, this is a rough buy. I think for all that, bro, you might as well just get this. If you could find a statue of Guru, just go with that. I'm sure it'll be cheaper. Well, I can't guarantee that it'll be cheaper, but I don't know. I think this is kind of a pointless release. It would have been better off just doing a SH.Figuarts type of deal for this, in my opinion. But you know, I guess it is what it is. There's only so much so much I could complain and say about it. Now, there's going to be a third portion in this video, which is going to be linked back to the Krillin, and we're going to get to that in 1 second. So I just decided to move to Instagram just to have this as some background imagery as I talk, because right now for this portion of the video you don't really need to look at the screen. I'm just going to be pointing out, since this Krillin has gotten released, there's a couple things that came to mind in terms of if we really gonna truly just really go all in on giving every little detail and character and figure form of NAMEK. Here's what I think could possibly happen next. Since this figure is getting released, right? Or this version of Krillin, right? First thing first, you see that Gohan that have posed right there? When was the last time that they released that Gohan? Who knows, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if that gets a re-release, or if it ends up being like some type of con exclusive. Like if this is one of the exclusives for SDCC or something like that, it wouldn't be too shocking. Or maybe if it got like a general release or something like that, wouldn't be too shocking. Was the original release a general release? I don't know. Y'all could correct me in the comments if y'all know, or if I remember, right? But speaking of re-releases, particularly with this particular scene, this is reminding me of when they powered up against Guldo and the Ginyu Force, which brings us to the Ginyu Force. Some figures that are in desperate need of a re-release for the people that missed out on the Ginyu Force, right? Since we're going all in, well, we already knew they was all in on Frieza Saga, but this, like, I thought we was truly past the Frieza era. We not. So since that's the case, I'm just gonna list all the stuff that they could do now, right? Re-release the Ginyu Force. battle damage Raccoon, battle damage Vegeta, which with the broken shoulder pad, right? That could be a figure. What else? Updated 4th form Frieza. That could definitely be a thing now. They already low-key have the upper body from what you call it? Mecha Frieza with some retooling, and of course you replace some parts. Or you could just shrink down 100% full power Frieza, right? Just take that, shrink it down to normal proportions, and there goes your Frieza. The 100% Frieza was a fire figure anyways, right? So that could work out perfectly. And, well, I'm not gonna say that. I'll save that for a different video. But, what else? First appearance Super Saiyan Goku, where he turns Super Saiyan, he got the blue undershirt on, battle damage. They technically have never done that version of Goku. That first appearance Goku, they never done it. That could be a figure now. Since we went back and did this Krillin, I'm not saying that it's guaranteed, guys, but I wouldn't be surprised at all. You feel me? That Warrior Awakening Goku that we got oh so long ago, where where half his shirt is torn, a part of his chest is showing. If that figure got an update, I wouldn't be surprised. Because y'all know they love to make Goku figures. People complain about how there's too many Goku figures, but ironically enough, when that Cell Games Goku, when the Let the Games Begin Goku got revealed, people was like, we have too many Goku, but this one is different. So us as fans is amusing. We funny like that. But yeah, I think that's. What else am I missing? Battle damage. Who knows? Battle damage Frieza after he got hit by the Spirit Bomb. He didn't get buffed yet, but part of his tail was missing and everything. At this point. And matter of fact, why we here, right? Tamashii, if anybody at Tamashii is watching, right? If you truly want to get the bang for your buck out of the Frieza saga, why don't y'all do a 2-pack with some some grunts, some minions from Frieza's Force? And you could do it. You could do several, 3 or 4 different variations of the 2-pack, just to have some variety in your army or army building. Why don't you do that? And then you could do a set of head sculpts to go onto the bodies. If y'all really trying to, they're not paying me to do this. Anyways, this has been BombasticPlastic. Sorry for the delay on the videos. Getting back into the groove. What else? Oh yeah, I've been meaning to say this for mad long. Okay. Thank y'all for 8,000 subscribers. We've been past 8,000 for the past 2 or 3 weeks now. But I never got a chance to thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the positive feedback. Even when I get annoyed at some of the comments that I think are stupid and rude. I even appreciate that because y'all still commenting, right? I didn't have to comment. It helps with the algorithm and pushing the video out. So thank you too. You too have helped. But with that being said, I'm gonna do a little something for y'all for 8,000 subscribers. Let's do a little something, but I'm not gonna disclose what it is just yet. Until next time, this has been BombasticPlastic. Stay fantastic, and as always, have a blessed day. Enjoy it. Peace.